Welcome back to All Abilities Homestead. My name is Deb, and these handsome young men are my grandsons. I've been in a wheelchair for over 25 years now, but I've still managed to lead a productive life. I've sold real estate, I've gotten my master's degree in education, I've homeschooled kids, and now I'm helping to raise these grandsons. Come along with me as I show you my creative solutions to everyday problems while living life in a wheelchair. Share your tips if you're in a wheelchair also. Today I'm going to take you along as I go grocery shopping. Well, sort of grocery shopping. I hate to disappoint you if you're looking for a big grocery haul because I just don't do those very often. Today I'm going to the Chef store. If you've never been to the Chef store, it's a lot like Sam's used to be 40 years ago when they actually targeted businesses and sold in large capacity. If you check Sam's prices nowadays, they really aren't any cheaper than any place else. You're just buying in bulk. Here, the prices are cheaper because they're targeting restaurants and businesses. You don't need a membership. They're available in 17 different states, so you might check and see if there's one closest to you. I enjoy going up and down the aisles, even though I don't need a lot of things in bulk. I don't buy any of the paper products or the restaurant supplies. I do, however, love the gadget aisle because they sell knives and kitchenware that restaurants buy. A friend of mine is a manager for an Outback Steakhouse, and this is actually where she comes to get knives for her kitchen as well as other baking pans and stuff like that. So usually I spend the most amount of my time looking at kitchen gadgets, mostly that I don't need, but I'm kind of addicted, so I go anyway. They have knives, they have rolling pins and baking equipment, they have all kinds of pans, cleaning supplies in large quantity. There's woks and really big bowls. And the prices are really reasonable also. Today I'm not buying any of them because I have most of what I need, but I figured I would give you a quick glance. Mostly what I'm here for is the bulk meat. They sell meat in primal cuts. And 3 years ago, I bought half a cow. And we discovered that there were some things that we went through really quick. And then there were things that I had to really get creative with how to use them. I decided not to do that again. Now I just go to the Chef store and I buy primal cut meat so that I get the pieces that I actually want to use or will use, and it works out cheaper for me. So here are all the packaged meats for restaurants. Once in a while, if I'm doing a really big cooking day, like a once a month cooking day, I will pick up some of these type of things. I catered my daughter's wedding myself, and I did go here to buy a number of the things I used for cooking for her wedding. You will see these are pork, Jimmy Dean pork products. I do like to buy the boxes of hamburger patties. They're pre-made patties. They're 100% meat. There's nothing extra in them. And what that does for me is that they're already portion control. If I'm only cooking for myself, I just pull out one patty and break it up and put it into spaghetti sauce. So I'm not taking home big huge packages of hamburger meat and dividing it up between Ziploc baggies and labeling it and all of those things. I know that every patty is a quarter pound of meat, so if I need a pound of meat, I pull out 4 patties. It saves me the work, and it's easy to grab and go when I need it. We've got seafood in big quantities. We'll get down here to the desserts. That's a little bit dangerous. I try and avoid it. However, if you're looking for puff pastry or, what's the other one? Phyllo dough for making any type of Christmas goodies, It's a wonderful place to buy those because those are really hard to make from scratch. We've got cases of oil if you're doing a lot of deep frying. And then we're going down the baking aisle here, which, yes, things are in really big quantities. However, if you're stocking up and filling buckets, it's easier to get it here than it is at Sam's. It's cheaper. There is no membership, so you just go in and grab a cart and go shopping. So, kind of giving you an idea on prices here. That's $9.99 for a bag of flour. So I only have to do this, maybe every other year. I don't really go through a ton of baking supplies because we don't do a lot of sweets. Going into the holidays, I do more baking than any other time of the year, and mostly I'm giving that stuff away to other people as Christmas gifts. We've got the big number 10 can size ketchup, tomato products, and other vegetables, big bags of pasta, which are great if you're refilling a canister. I do quite a bit of Mexican cooking, and they've got a lot of different dried peppers depending on what you are making. You just basically put a handful of dried peppers in a pot with some water and bring it to a boil, and then puree it in the blender, and you've got enchilada sauce and other things like that. You do want to wash them off before you put them in the pot, though, because sometimes they're dusty. So, big cans of tomatillos and jalapeno peppers, cans of cheese if you're doing a whole lot of nachos for a crowd at church or somewhere. Baking potatoes. I love to get these great big huge baking potatoes, and I'll do a video coming up of how I pre-make them for the freezer so that they're easy to throw together a meal later. They're also great for twice baked potatoes if your family likes those. These are the cheese sauces and hot dog sauce. Cold room, big quantities of shredded cheese. I didn't buy any of that today, but sometimes I will divide it up into bags and freeze them. The shredded cheese does fine freezing. Some of the block cheeses not so well. Come around the corner and we get to all the dairy products. Big tubs of sour cream, milk, cottage cheese, Cool Whip or whip toppings. That's the sour cream. There are some smaller of the sour cream here. But if I'm doing a bulk cooking day and I'm making twice baked potatoes, then I buy one of those sour creams to pre-make. Chorizo, again, great for bulk cooking days. I can make pork chorizo myself, but a lot of times I'm just lazy and I'll go ahead and buy it already made. Fresh fruit, you can buy it in smaller quantities here, or you can buy it by the case. Big bags of carrots. I'll tell you a little tip is that sometimes when you're in a wheelchair, you think you want to have a great big huge garden, but it's more work than you can handle by yourself. So some products I grow myself, like I'll have tomato plants or pepper plants, but carrots and potatoes and those kind of things take up a lot of room, and because they're down in the ground, they're hard to reach from a wheelchair. So oftentimes I will buy them in bulk and then process them just like I had grown them. Same thing with jalapenos. It's a whole lot easier just to buy a big case of jalapenos. Mushrooms I will buy by the case and go ahead and slice them up and saute them, and then have them in Ziploc baggies in the freezer to add to dishes as I make them. That's limes. I don't usually buy limes by the case because I just can't think of that much to do with them. $16.29 for a case of jalapenos. And this is the whole cold room just for produce. Here in a minute, we're going to go around the corner into the room, the meat room. And you want to wear a sweater because that room is really cold. But it is my favorite place in the whole store and probably where I go the most often. We got deli meats. I don't know if I've ever bought anything in the deli meat. I might have gotten some of the pre-cooked bacon that's already diced up for you to add when I'm doing twice baked potatoes. I haven't tried the hams, so I couldn't really tell you on the quality of the hams, but I'm sure they're wonderful. These are slices, cheese slices. If you're doing a whole lot of sandwiches, then you buy in bulk and pre-make your sandwiches. But here is my favorite spot. You can buy meat by the case, or you can buy just Primal Cuts in vacuum packs up there on that top shelf. If you're in a wheelchair, take somebody with you because it's not wheelchair friendly. Can't really reach anything up there. I can see the price tags, and then I have to have my grandson get stuff down for me. But you can buy chicken by the case. This right here is a whole case of chicken for $114.99. But again, if you're buying them individually at the grocery store, you're going to pay more than that. When we come down here, the various cases of meat, or you can buy the Primal Cuts up there, and the prices per pound. Anytime I find meats that are less than $5 a pound, I tend to go ahead and buy it and put it up in my freezer, because you're not finding much at the grocery store that's less than $5 a pound anymore. On this day, I came for a boneless beef chuck roll. So it was $3.99 a pound. Here's a picture of what kind of cuts you can get out of it. There's a ton of videos online that will tell you how to butcher it and what all you can get from it. I'm not a butcher. I'll just tell you right now, I basically sliced it up into 12 pot roasts, long cooking pot roast. And if you watch on my video on Monday, I am making Mississippi pot roast is what it's called on Pinterest and a lot of other places. I've tweaked it a little bit, but that will be my video on Make It Monday. And I'm using one of the roasts that I cut from this. Great big bags of onions. I got the yellow onions because they were $5.97, I think, for a 10-pound bag. These bags are bigger than what I necessarily need. Oh, $5.89 for the pound, the big bag. If I had a good place to store it, I would buy the big bags, but I just really don't. I am in a relatively small house with 6 of us living here, so I've already stashed stuff under beds where I could and in closets, and I have to be considerate of the amount of space that I have for storage and how much room I have left in the freezer. We got big containers of all different sauces, Worcestershire sauce, soy sauce. Again, if I'm doing a once a month cooking day, I will go ahead and buy in these big quantities because I plan the meals by what I'm buying. Ketchup. You can get it in the smaller sizes, but here you go, great big container for $9.79. I've never bought candy there because, again, we just don't do a whole lot of sweet stuff, but they do have it if you wanted to pick up candy as well. And salts and peppers, all the spices and things that you can buy at Sam's. They are less expensive here in bigger quantities. So it's a good place to stock up. It's more than an hour away from my house, so when I go, I do tend to check all my spices and see if there's anything I'm needing to stock up on. This aisle was a lot trickier to try and film because there were people everywhere, and I was trying to avoid getting strangers in my videos. So anyway, there is our trip to the chef store. Check it out in your area, and have a blessed week. I'll see you next Saturday. Bye-bye.